it's Aspen SunGale, and welcome to my first video. This video is going to be about my writing story, and kinda just me yapping about my life and how I got to where I am today. Before we get on with the video, I want to quickly thank Amelia Dreambell and the Thornwood Acres / Elite Roses Order for inspiring me to make my very first video, and to share it, and my story. Anyways, let's get cracking. I was born in the loud, bustling concrete hell known as York City in the borough of Governor's Fall. I know, typical that the city boy becomes a horse guy, but I was born to my parents, Maria and David SunGale. I'm the middle kid of 3, having an older brother and a younger sister. I did pretty well in school. I like to read, but my life changed when I was invited to a birthday party at a barn an hour-ish outside the city when I was 6. They were letting kids ride horses, and I met a Palomino pony named Sunny, and I thought she was the funniest thing ever. They didn't let us do much other than trot on a lunge line, but I loved it, and from that moment on, I knew I wanted to be around horses. Living in the city, horses weren't really around other than occasional sightings of the mounted cavalry during parades. My love for them didn't die out. Eventually, I started to not fit in at school. I didn't feel normal. I stopped wanting to wear dresses, and I wanted to participate in boys' sports. This is when I realized at age 10 that I was trans. I did my research behind my parents' back, and eventually I came out, though it didn't go as I had hoped. My parents were very religious and immediately kicked me out, so I ran. I went to the plaza my mom would take me and my siblings with nothing but the clothes on my back. And this is where I met Kirsty Griswold. She was just leaving the city to move to Dundalk. After some convincing from a total stranger and a literal child, she took me under her wing and later adopted me. She got me lessons at the local barn in Dundalk, and again, my love for horses came rushing back. Years later, when I was 18, I knew I wanted to keep horses in my life, even go to school for it. But college was expensive, and I eventually learned of a program that the Jorvik Rangers had where if I had served 3 years with them, they would help pay for my tuition. So, I became a ranger, and the crazy thing is, I met my husband here. I was sworn in, and I got assigned a horse named Twix. A weird-looking mix. It's part American Quarter Horse, part Criollo. He was a character. After a lot of training, we did eventually get to like each other, and we made a great team. It wasn't long before I was sent on my first mission. Being on search and rescue, I was often tossed about. The ride to the ranger base deep in Redwood Forest was long, but it paid off when I saw my lieutenant, Cameron Stargrove. I was infatuated by this man. I immediately wanted to talk to him, and I sort of became a stalker, but over the years, we got sent on countless missions together, and it wasn't long until, yeah, he kissed me mid-mission in a meadow. Yeah, not our best choice. But on the other hand, college was soon approaching, and I didn't have a personal horse. So, Cameron and I went on a road trip to try horses. I went to Silverglade Manor and tried 2 horses. The first one being a 16.9 hand, 8-year-old Hanoverian gelding named Firefly, his show name being Lights in the Dark. Our trial ride went amazingly well, and I've never been more in love with a horse in my life. His jumps were smooth, he caught me when I forgot how to count strides, he was in my budget, this horse was everything to me. I tried another horse they had, a Belgian warmblood and Swedish warmblood gelding cross named Cassius. Cassius stood at a whopping 17.2 hands at just 7 years old, and an absolute sweetheart at that. Much like Firefly, his gaits were smooth and he was just a dream to ride and to work with, again, being in budget. I fell in love and I bought them both and took them home, helping them settle into the farm. Now, here's where things get really crazy. I had gone back to base that night, and I got a phone call from an unknown number, saying that they tracked down Firefly. I had accidentally stolen someone's horse. I went back home as quick as I could and handed Firefly over because that was the right thing to do, and it didn't take me long to notice that Cassius was missing. After telling my captain when I got back on base, we got another mission and started to connect the dots, and the dots took us to Jorvik City. And this was my first time in 10 years that I had been back. Luckily, Cameron was by my side. We did eventually find the missing horses, and Cassius was one of them, but he was starved and nothing but skin and bones. He got rushed to the vet and was deemed unrideable. I'd spend hours with him, and then on January 20th, everything seemed normal. I'd spent time with Cassius at the vet and went back to base, but there wasn't a soul around. I called Cameron and my captain, but no answer, until I heard screaming deep in the woods. I got Twix tacked up as quick as I could, and I booked it in the direction of the screaming, only to be met with the giant redwood trees on fire, rangers running around trying to get the wild horses safe. I found Cameron, and he ran off in one direction, and the smoke concealing him after just a few yards. Twix threw me off, and I barely made it out. Cameron and I got hurt bad, and Twix never came back. We were discharged and sent to focus on school, and so we did. Cameron and I both getting into the top equine school, Jorvik Equine University, but Cameron is a Western rider, while I ride English. We were separated by a 6-hour drive. JEU's Western campus is in Fir Grove County, while the main campus, where I was, is just outside Jarlheim City. Aside from the one con, I bought 2 horses while at JEU. A 16.8 Hanoverian gelding named Denver, affectionately called Denny, and his show name being Left for Denver, because the Lumineers are his inspiration. He quickly became my main eventer, despite his absolute hatred for dressage. I say hatred, but it's more of an inability. Denny is all speed, and he does not know grace, and it shows. And then I got Eclipse, a 5-year-old Andalusian stallion who, despite not being gelded, is an absolute sweetheart and is an amazing mover. His show name is HL Lunero because I had purchased him from Highline Horses. Eventually, I tried out for JEU's competition team with Denny. The 3-day televised event went swimmingly well, despite me only having done for a week. After placings were announced, I went back to the barn and near had a heart attack when I saw Cameron, And to further my surprise, he proposed. He proposed to me in the middle of a barn while I was in my PJs. He's a menace to society, people. I finished a year at JEU, but I was starting to miss home. I missed my fiance and my family. So I transferred schools to an amazing school in Wintervale named Larkspur Hill University. And then that June, Cameron and I got married. We were stupidly young, being just 21, but we did it, and neither of us have regretted it since. And yes, we did get married during Pride Month. We had to, alright, come on, it was kind of funny. With Cam now being my husband, and ever the fan of surprises, he packed up all our things and moved us into a new town closer to the college I was now at. The house he bought sat on the outskirts of Wintervale, and it came with acres of land and a barn, fully renovated and ready to be a lesson barn. And that's how Sungrove Equine Center came to be. Anyways, that's my riding story. I hope you enjoyed. And again, a big thank you to Thornwood Acres / Elite Roses Order and Amelia Dreambow for inspiring me to do this. Thank you again. Catch you on the flip.